And we are live.
Hi.
Hi, everyone. It's not here yet, but you will be in a minute.
Abby.
So what is everyone drinking today?
I'm drinking cranberry extract water.
Oh.
The tears of my enemies.
Cranberry. I've got some in my fridge. I think all women need cranberry. Am I right?
Oh, yes.
It's I'm so susceptible to UTIs, not to be TMI, but whatever.
It's genetic with me.
Yeah, dude.
I just got over one. Yeah. You just got to drink so much water, man.
I drink like 4 of these a day. Look at this, like bigger than my head. I have to drink like 4 of them. Just flush out my body, you know?
At night, I like pound about 3 bottles thinking, okay, well, this is healthy now. I'll flush all the monster out. But I know realistically, you know, it don't work that way. But I mean, it slightly
Actually,
does.
if you do it like right before you go to bed, is that when you do it? Is before you go to bed?
Yeah, I just pound a few
from
bottles.
not getting like gout and stuff like that because you have so much fluid in your body. Yeah, but you got to keep getting up to go pee.
Yeah, I do that like crazy, but I haven't been sleeping either lately.
Oh, yeah. Oh, see, I forgot to do it again. So nobody's saying anything, but I see that there's people watching. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Hi, Witch of the Meadows.
Hi, Sonia. Let me, because I always do this. Do not disturb, right? Where is it?
I don't even know where my phone's at.
I mean, that's smart, but my luck, someone would be trying to call me right at the time, and it'd be an emergency, right?
I'm not saying that's responsible of me.
I have a shirt that says that. Do not disturb.
I need that.
Hi,
My husband had one that yesterday he was wearing. He's getting into all these like t-shirts that have like Callahan Auto Parts, you know, like from Tommy Boy, and he's got one that says like the Office or Dunder Mifflin. Like he's got one that says, I think we're going to need a bigger boat. I mean, he's got Star Wars ones. He's got all kinds. It's funny.
I love that.
But he wore one yesterday that said, I'm not a hugger. And it shows a cactus with like all the things.
Nice.
So we are here with Abby the Witch. And I am keeping these a surprise whenever we have an episode, so that you guys have to come and check out and see who we're talking with.
I love it. Keeps me on my toes.
Yeah. And just in case with scheduling, which we can maybe move somebody up if somebody has to, you know, cancel or what have you. So I don't want to see any pressure. You know what I mean? No pressure, no big deal. And if we're able to do it, then perfect. We put all your information down below. I mean, really, it's just about getting these stories out, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, hi, everyone.
Welcome.
Guys.
Yeah, I'm just going to say hi in general.
Hello.
So we're here with Abby the Witch, and I had already done an interview with you, but we didn't really talk about we just like
a little bit
briefly on some of the things.
Yeah, with both of you guys, I touched a little bit on it.
Yeah, but we want all the goods. We want.
So I don't know how. I mean, it seems like the other ones I've been watching, we just dive right in, right? It's nothing okay. So I'm definitely a list person. So if I'm looking down a lot, like I have everything written down because my brain is everywhere. I have ADD. It's been a problem my whole life, but I don't know if I talked to you, Cortney, about this in our interview, but I know Rachele, we briefly talked about it. You had brought up this
Collier.
What's that?
You're talking about the little beings that you seen when you were a baby, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I was talking, or you were also talking about when I was a kid, seeing the you said there was this weird creature that looked like people reported it looking like ET. and it was like living in people's crawl spaces or whatever. And I was like, oh my God, I had never mentioned that to anybody. But until that interview, and then I was like, I've seen that. And it's such a long time ago. I remember actually like still seeing like through my crib, like the bars in my crib, and like holding onto the bars in my crib and looking through the bars and seeing this brown thing come out of my vent that kind of looked like ET. And hi. And but the bottom of it was like misty, like it didn't have any solid legs. And it was like coming up out of my vent and just like floated there and stared at me. But it was so weird that you had mentioned that without me even saying anything. And I never have told a soul in my entire life, just because I thought it was so weird. And I didn't want people thinking I was crazy. So I never told anyone. But yeah, that's like the earliest memory I have of something very unnatural.
Do you think it was because of the place that you lived, or do you think that followed you wherever you lived?
I think it might have been the place I was living in, because that house was definitely like, after that, like I would see like things trying to look in my window at night. I'd seen like things like in the reflection of like, I remember having this memory of being in my living room and seeing like a reflection of something like peering around the hallway and looking at me like in the reflection of the fireplace. And like, it will like went like that and like hid around the corner. And
that reminds me of the thing that I had. I think that's probably what brought it up when I had that experience with them behind the trees.
Yes.
Like
Yeah, that's right. Yes. Yes. And I have memories of like things doing that in my childhood all the time, of like carrying around corners and staring at me. And then like, by the time I turn around, they're gone.
And they're like childlike, almost like shorter, right? Like,
yeah, some of them are smaller. Yeah, some of them are smaller. But it's always like when I'm just like minding my own business, and then and, it's never like I watched a scary movie and it's my imagination or something. Like it's always just when I'm just minding my own business, watching TV or something. And now it's starting to happen again. Like I see things in my house now. So it's weird.
How long did you live in that first house? Because you said that was like your earliest memory of something.
Yeah,
right?
no, I lived in that house for a good 19 years until I moved out for college. We never moved when I was a kid. So this happened like, it wasn't like all the time, but it would happen every so often. I would get visited, you know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was alien or paranormal. I'm not sure.
Was that in Indiana also?
Yes. Yep.
Because I think we had also brought it up because I had been watching this series on Amazon Prime called Hellier. Mm-hmm. And Hellier, first they went to like Kentucky, Hellier, Kentucky, I think. And that's what it was. A guy had sent an email to this like paranormal investigator about seeing these creatures outside of his home, and they kept on messing with his little girl. And looking like in the bedroom. That's why, looking through the window and stuff. And they had seen like little footprints and stuff like that. But these were like little beings, like little aliens. And they said that they had been around like some caves, like old abandoned caves and stuff like that.
Nice.
And it was between, like Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, because there's all these like caverns underneath there.
Yeah. Yep. We do have a lot of caves.
And it's interesting, after I seen that and I looked into it, there's actually a lot of reports, people reporting these beings or creatures, like they'll wake up and like literally they're being carried by goblins or something from their bed.
Huh. Wow.
And let me ask you something. Around that area that you lived, did you ever see any like trees with the green man on them?
No, but I definitely felt like trees were always trying to grab my attention when I was little. I've always felt like connection to trees, like they were trying to talk to me for real. I didn't know what it meant when I was a little kid. Maybe it had something to do with that. I don't know.
Interesting. Did you have any other experiences in that house?
In that house, no, but I always had like really intense deja vus when I was a kid as well. That's really the only memories I have of like seeing things in my house. I just always remember seeing like things in the reflection, trying to look at me, or in my window. That happened multiple times, of things trying to look into my window, or even like nightmares of things trying to crawl into my window. And then me waking up. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah.
But she said it sounds like the Fae. Angie said it sounds like the Fae. And I was thinking that too. Like, and the same thing with Anna Sarah on her interview with Carla the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that almost like you're like seeing a different realm. Like you're experiencing a different realm. Cortney, what do you think about that?
Yeah, definitely. Or dimensions too. Like higher dimension. Lately, I've been theorizing about that, all these experiences and stuff. And I'm wondering, if it's like merging of dimensions, or are they lowering their vibration to materialize for certain things to help aid?
My theory is this: when we're younger, we're more open. We're not as, pulled down by everything. Yeah, I know it's hard. But now, as we're getting older, some of us are practicing other things in order to raise like our own vibration.
Yep.
And open ourselves up. So it's like the things that we were experiencing when we were kids, we're re-experiencing, because when you seen these things when you were little, if you said anything, and this is not everybody, but I know a large portion of people were just like, oh, that's just your imagination. It's not real. I mean, it's almost like we were conditioned to not see it.
Yeah.
Now we're actually, oh, well, that was real,
Right. No, and it's so funny you just said that. It's like you're reading my mind, because I was just thinking that these things, I feel like these things happened to me way more when I was a kid, because I was just open to it, and I would have these like really vivid dreams, and like the nightmares of people crawling in my windows and stuff like that. And I feel like, and the really intense deja vus too. And that kind of subsided, kind of stopped for a period in my life. Right. And now that I'm kind of reopening my third eye, and I'm on this spiritual path, and I have been for a couple of years now, I feel like it's all kind of happening again. Like the deja vus are coming back, the vivid dreams are coming back. Yeah. So it's crazy. It's crazy.
I wonder if that isn't the A blood types.
I'm wondering too, because also, I mean, elves like that, they say originated in like that area as well. So who knows? I personally think, or may believe, that I'd be interested to know what your blood type is, and be willing to bet it's A, maybe.
I think you're an A. Come on, you need to know already.
I know. It's been months, and I even have it like in my Amazon shopping cart. I had it in my cart for a while, like the blood kit test or whatever. And I keep forgetting, but I'll do it. I need to know now.
We need to know. All right. So what else you got for us, honey?
So the deja vus, I know I'm kind of like, okay. So you know how like when it comes to people's spirituality, there are certain things that they're really interested in. Like some people are really into like dream walking. Some people are really into the Fae. And I'm really curious about deja vus. I think that they mean way more than what people are chalking it up to. I would get really intense deja vus as a child. Like to the point where I could like tell what was about to happen, and it would just come out of nowhere. And I remember telling my mom about it, like, because it was kind of freaky when it would happen. You kind of get like this weird, like foggy, I don't know, it was weird. And I remember telling my mom about one, and she was like, okay, you need to tell me every time this happens, because that's unusual that it's happening to you so frequently.
I have a theory on it. What are your guys' theories on it, though?
I get it intensely too, just how she described. And I got one of two theories. One, we were switched off at that moment. Two, my other theory is that something in our reality shifted at that moment. We shifted to like a alternate reality, or something came into our reality that has to manifest. So it kind of shifts things and creates this, wait, I've been here before. Well, type of.
And it's kind of a spooky, I can't explain like what it feels like. I don't know, Cortney, if you can describe it better, or if Rachele, if this has happened to you, but
I've had it several times.
Yeah, it's a weird feeling. I don't know. I personally believe that it's like glimpses of our third eye opening, because I believe that everyone has all the chakras. I believe that everyone has a third eye. Some people's are tightly shut, but I really do think that our brains are more capable of what we think, of what most people think. And I think that that's what's happening, and why so many people get these deja vus. I think it's like our third eye is twitching open or something, maybe. I'm not really sure. That's my theory, but.
My theory is that we all have access to like all knowledge, the Akashic records. So sometimes we are like, maybe we had visited our own Akashic records, maybe during our dream state, or when something happens, it's just like a quick memory of that, or tapping into it. Thank you, sweetie. I'll make sure that I get that to you. She wants me to send a picture on to you.
Oh, okay.
I mean, onto Cortney. Tangi does.
Oh, sorry. I'm not watching the chat. Sorry, guys.
No problem. But that's what I think it is, because have you ever heard the expression that they say, like, right before you die, everything, like your whole life passes before your eyes, kind of thing?
Yes.
Well, when I read the books from Sylvia Brown, The Other Side or whatever, when she talks about the other side, she talks about actually going in front of a council. And it's not that they're there to judge you. They're there to help you understand why you made this choice. This was the, so you're like in front of like this viewer that's like showing your whole life. So I think that we get glimpses of that, or maybe because we have our spirit guides from the other side that are also helping us, maybe remembering stuff like that. So that's kind of what I think it is.
And you could be right too, or maybe it's like little boosts of like our reality. Because the third eye, with your theory, I was just thinking about that, Abby, and they say our third eye is actually like crystalled in DMT. That's how we dream, from the DMT in our third eye, and it operates like a actual crystal. And you might be onto something there, because they say we project our reality. We could be a brain in a jar and be projecting all of this. And the third eye theory that you mentioned, I could see that. That's interesting.
Absolutely. I mean, it might be just a regular communication device.
Right.
The pineal gland, right?
Spiritual antenna, maybe, or
yeah. I want to stretch it out.
And Jen says, I believe it's a way for our higher self to tell us that we are on the right path.
Oh, yeah.
Probably right along with like confirmations and stuff. Because I will tell you, sometimes when I get deja vu, it doesn't just happen like, oh, I know what's going to happen next. It's like, I've experienced this. It'll be like right after. It's like, I've already experienced it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Or I'll say, wait a minute, I dreamt this. And then I'll literally go, this is going to happen. And it happens like right at that moment. And I feel so bizarre. Like, are you confused too? Like you get confused and you're just kind of like, wait, what? Wait, this happened. Hold on. Like, what's going on here?
I know, it's freaky. Like I literally have been able to like while I'm having like a conversation with someone, like I know what I'm going to say, what they're going to say, what I'm going to say and then what their reaction is going to be. And I can change all of that so they don't get upset or so it doesn't become heated or whatever. Like again, I would love to learn how to harness it and manage it because it just happens to me randomly. You know what I mean? Like it's never like, I mean, maybe it is good timing. Maybe it's significant timing for a reason or whatever, or maybe it is just random. I don't know, but I've never learned how to do it on purpose.
I definitely do not think it's random. I don't think most things, but that's just me.
Yeah.
So what else you got for us?
Well, you guys want to talk about dreams maybe? Is that cool? Dreams is another thing I'm obsessed with. I know you guys are super interested in them too. So that's another thing I would love to learn how to do is dream walking. I would love to learn how to, or at least lucid dreaming would be very cool. And I know Cortney and I have talked about that too. Yeah.
Which I do still want to practice with you and stuff. It's just since events happened, I've actually been having trouble. I'm struggling with dream work at the moment, but when I get it back, I'm going to get in touch with you with that.
Let's do it. I would love to do that. This is kind of, I'll start with this dream because this is kind of associated a little bit with deja vu, but so I've been taking these woman supplements lately. They're all natural. They're made out of chastaberry and some other plant. I forget the name. It's Chinese though. And it's been helping me with my hormone balance, blah, blah, blah. And when I first started taking them, I had this wild, that I went to this like international or like Asian grocery store. And I was looking at these supplements I was taking. They were at the store and I was like looking at them. And this old Asian lady came up to me and was like, oh yeah, those are great. You'll love them. And she goes, it's also going to help you predict when something really bad is about to happen. And right when that happened in my dream, I sat up and I saw my dog jump off the bed. And then I woke up, sat up, and my dog was getting into a fight with my cat. Like right after she said that. And it was just wild that like in my dream, I don't know. I saw it happen before it actually happened. If that makes sense. Like I dreamed of it happening and then I immediately woke up and was able to stop it before it got really, really bad. And it was right after she said, it helps you predict when something really bad happens. So I think there's more power in those plants than just hormonal balance, helping with hormonal balance. But yeah, that was a really cool dream.
Wow. I might need to get some of that.
It's been great. It makes me in a better mood too. So
is it like ginseng or
I think it's called Dong Quai, DONGQUAI. I think it's called something like that. Oh no, she froze up. But yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, hormones and stuff.
I know.
So is that the first dream that you recall where something like that happened? Or have you had experiences where because it sounded like you almost like your consciousness or your astral body leaped and observed and then like in an instant later, like you merged like to your physical body. Do you think that's what happened?
I think so. Yeah. I think I like saw myself jumping up out of bed. Like I was almost like out of body, and then it actually happened. So, that was one of the first ones I've had since like I said, all my deja vu started coming back and everything started kind of like coming back to me, like,
accelerating.
Yeah. Yeah. But I've had lots of other dreams about, I had a dream recently about, I don't know if you guys saw my comment on the interview you guys did with Jonathan, but I was watching it and I remember thinking, I wonder if he's ever had any dreams about becoming a wolf. And then right when I said that, he talked about his dream about becoming a wolf. And And I have had a dream recently, actually, of thinking about, well, recently I've been thinking about what I name my future child, because we're thinking about having a kid. And the name Wolf came to me. I think I really like the name Wolf. And that night I had a dream that I was shuffling tarot cards and I pulled the Wolf card. And right when I pulled the Wolf card, someone else was in my dream. I'm not sure who it was. I kind of feel like it was one of my guides, but they said, "You are a wolf." And right when they said, "You are a wolf," I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm a wolf." I turned into a black wolf in my dream. And then beside me was a little black wolf pup that I had. So, and I really got this feeling that like I suddenly like remembered that I was a wolf. So I really feel like in my past life, in one of my past lives, I was a wolf. So that was a really cool dream.
Yeah, and if your DNA is from like that area, they have beliefs about certain wolves and stuff that intertwine with like fae and other things. Even the berserkers would channel like wolf energy and or bear energy. They would wear the pelts, and it said one berserker channeling this energy could like hold off. There was a story where he held off like 20 English warriors by himself so the rest could get away. And I'm like, that's powerful. Like there's a lot of wolf stuff that's so interesting. I've even thought about it, and I'm like, what if these things are being revealed to us right now? Because a lot of people are starting to familiarize themselves with like these creatures or entities, or dreaming about them, or that they are them and such. And I have a theory that maybe it could be linked to DNA, or like something in our DNA. Like, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I agree. Or even past lives. I feel like I have so many dreams of like the wolf one. And then I've also have reoccurring dreams of being like this little girl in the 1930s, like over and over again. It's like this, I'm like this little girl out in the country and I feel like myself, but I know I'm not, if that makes sense. Like it's a different life and it's a long time ago. I can tell it's a long time ago. And I like, it's so vivid. I'm like out in a pasture and I can like look over and I see my barn and there's like corrals with animals in it. And I can go up into my farmhouse and like look out and see I was very obsessed with taking care of the farm animals in this dream. Like I would always go check on the animals. And even at night, I would like look out my bedroom window in my farmhouse and check on the animals out in the corral, like our cattle and our horses out in the corral. But I have that dream all the time. And the alligators too. I don't know if you remember me talking about the alligator dreams.
Yeah, Rachele. Oh, I am so sorry. I was wondering. Sorry, guys. And I'm sorry, Abby. I was sorry, honey. I was wondering. I was like, can she, or is she trying to get it set up? So my bad.
My internet again. I don't know what's going on.
So
I'm on my phone.
She was talking about dreams of where wolves were coming up. I thought you particularly would have interest in that from, things you talked about. And then she went on. Now she's talking about dreams of alligators or crocodiles, you said?
Alligators, yeah. Yep. We talked about that, Rachele, a little bit.
Mm-hmm. What is going on with that?
I don't know, man. I don't know, but it's like my brain goes through phases of having these reoccurring dreams. And like, sometimes it'll be the ocean dreams. Like I have repetitive dreams about being in the deep, dark ocean or whales. And then sometimes I'll have the little girl in the country. I was just telling her about I think it's a past life dream. I'm a little girl in the country. And then I have another phase where it's alligators, like in dark black water.
Wow.
Yeah, it's weird. But Yeah,
I
I was just
definitely have dreamed about the wolves, like werewolves. Oh yeah. Like actually being like a queen of werewolves and stuff. It's
oh, it's
weird.
badass. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
And I dreamt I was her warrior, but an elf, like a elven being hybrid thingy that I can't. It don't even look really like a fae or like a fairy like depicted,
Yeah.
but it's and
Wow. Huh.
They are also wolves. What do you mean, sissy? I seen a chart with blood types, and the O and A's are dragons and wolf. Oh my gosh!
I think
You see
this
that?
is part of like I don't know. I have a theory about it that it's like part reptilian, and I'm just like,
The psoriasis.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
and
Oh.
Carla's got that.
Oh. Wow.
past life dreams. Yeah, I agree. Maybe, yeah,
That are happen simultaneously.
right.
That's what I think. So
Yeah.
very
I was telling, I don't know if you heard this, Rachele. I was talking to Cortney about it when your internet went out, but my wolf dream was me like turning into a wolf, and then like my future child was a wolf pup right next to me.
wow.
It was
That is
cool.
awesome.
Wow. We've got to talk more, honey, because some of the dreams that I have had seriously have to do with like werewolves and stuff. So
Yeah, I used to work with dogs professionally. Like I mean, you guys already know I have this connection with animals, but canine in particular is yes, I'm part dog. I don't know.
I swear I can hear what they're telling me, especially
yeah.
dogs. It's like I can feel it. I can hear it. It's
I've
weird.
seen that, yeah.
I'm
I'm like that with cats.
I get that with cats too. I'm jumping all over the place. I hope you guys don't mind, but
That's okay.
No, that's good.
one of my familiars or one of my pets is a cat that I got a year ago, and he was something needed or like gifted to me from the universe, because he has brought me messages like while I'm scrying, like multiple times has come to me while I've been scrying. And it's always while he's asleep too. It's interesting. He comes to me while he's sleeping.
Wow.
But he's told me before when someone texted me, and like I was able to fix that. And he's like giving me gifts by my altar. Like he gives me like little cat claws and he leaves them by my altar.
Oh.
Yeah, but no, he talks to me. He comes to me all the time when I'm scrying. So I definitely have this connection with at least that cat.
Definitely a familiar. I had a cat. My Sid Vicious used to do like things like that. Or if I go into my sacred space, right into my altar, like every time.
Yep. He's sleeping right behind me. He loves to sleep by my altar. That's there. Yeah. So he was definitely a gift from the universe for sure. My little familiar, definitely.
I love that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Or Sissy, can you because she said that she'll send the chart to me. Can you maybe do put it into the Amethyst Ascension group? Put the actual chart. Is it a picture form? Can you just, post it in there, Sissy, so that everyone can see it?
Yeah, it's interesting.
Oh, there I can see the chat.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my internet. I bet you as soon as I go back on my internet again, it will kick me off. So I'm just going to stay here.
You're fine. We can see you fine.
Cool.
Do you guys ever do any scrying? I'm curious.
I
hate
Okay. What kind of scrying do you guys do?
Flame.
Oh, okay.
Also, like incense.
The smoke.
Yeah, the smoke. Yep. Also, like, well, a big one that I do is like cloud scrying.
Mm.
I'm always looking at the clouds. My mom and I were just actually talking about that earlier because I had seen like the number 3, but I don't mean just like the 3 like this. I mean like this. It was very defined. And I pulled out my camera because my phone was right. I was in my hand. I was taking the dogs out. Plain, bright day. And when I went to do this to take images of it, it would not show up. I was going, what? Because it was still, I could see it with my eyes, but it was not showing up on my camera. Mom said she had that happen when she was living in Cassopolis just a year ago. She's seen like 5 UFOs. And it was early morning. The sun was coming up, and my mom gets up at the crack of dawn. And she said she seen them. She had her phone in hand, and she was trying to take it. Would not show up. It was like messing up on her. Yeah.
Yeah, I scry often. Flame, I love using flame, but I use all of them. But lately, I've been filling my bathtub and actually using soap, like my suds that I use. I'll swirl it, and then I'll just like let it like remove my hands and watch it, and I'll scry that way. Or just fill it up and use flame over it, and then I'll pour the wax with my intent of what I want it to reveal to me. And then the water and the wax, I usually get the most success with that.
That's cool. Does it float?
Yes.
Okay.
It'll form its own designs and float, and then you can kind of use that, what it makes for whatever you're seeking, or it works for me really well.
That's cool.
I've used eggs and water as well. I would just crack and drop an egg in, stir it, and then watch it, all the clouds and the like ways it would form while it was spinning. And then I would reapproach it and look at it again when it settled. And I would take the two, what I saw when it was spinning or swirling, and then what I saw when it settled, and kind of come up with my conclusion.
Right.
Also, marbles. Marbles. It's like kind of how you'd use like a crystal ball gaze, but for some reason I'll hold a marble, and I've done this since I was a kid, by the way, like really young. I'd hold them up to my eye and always see things in them. So every now and again I use marbles too.
Oh, that's cool. Wow. I'm gonna have to try the candle wax thing. That's a really good idea. I usually just do eyelid scrying or mirror scrying sometimes. Yeah.
I've been practicing that since you had brought that up
cool.
in the interview. Yeah, that's pretty powerful
intense.
too. It is intense. Very.
It gets really intense, especially after I've been candle gazing. Like I go into a trance, and when I feel the time is right, I close my eyes. And I've gotten some. That's when I've seen Flappy, my cat, Flapjack. We call him Flappy. But I also, one time when I was scrying, and I want to see what you guys think of this. It's happened multiple times where if I'm asking for protection, particularly, I'll see a black and white striped snake like wrap itself around me. But instead of a snake head, it has a bird skull for a head.
Cortney, you were just talking about Enlil and Enki earlier. When I see the snakes, I always think of, especially when they're like that in black and white, I always think of like DNA, double helix, right? So, but with a head of like a bird or an eagle, is that what you're saying?
It was a bird skull. So it looked almost like a raven skull or something.
So that's maybe like Enlil, right?
I would say Inky and Nordic, something ancient with that. I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, that's even interesting because of like Egypt, like Thoth and Ra, both with bird heads.
Inky's temple as well. You could look into that, maybe see what you get or pick up. When I think of the serpent, or like the most oldest form of the serpent, I automatically think Inky or Lucifer or Odin. or kind of like they're the same energy but different faces of that energy.
Okay.
That's how I view it anyway. But yeah, maybe just look into like different serpent stuff. No, with the
Yeah.
raven skull, that's interesting because I mean,
Yeah,
ravens were,
bird skull.
yeah, they were big in like Druid and Celtic and Nordic paganism and stuff. I mean, in a lot of pantheons, but that makes me
Right.
think
Yeah.
again of like,
I did a little bit of research, and I also found a Mayan god.
they worship the snake,
Yeah.
the reptile.
Yeah, yeah. And it had
Mhm.
like a bird head or something like that. I was like, that's the closest thing that I have found, but I'll definitely look into. You said it's the Inky temple?
Yeah, Inky. It's ancient Mesopotamia or Sumeria.
Okay.
Because Enlil, I found out and discovered like I've been looking into like that 13th sign of like the serpent bearer and like different lore and mythology. And today I came across they say because Scorpio and then the how do you pronounce it, like Auspicus or whatever.
Mhm.
It's
Yes.
like in the
Yeah.
same, like they're linked together, literally like the same. And one of the symbols in Scorpio is like the eagle, and then you got the serpent bearer. And I learned today that Inky was the serpent and Enlil was the eagle. And they're
Oh,
brothers, but they battled. I mean, there's a lot in it. And modernly, Enlil would be the biblical like deity or god,
okay.
and Inky would be Lucifer. But
Okay.
the way they tell it would be Lucifer or Inky manipulated our DNA genetically when we did that big evolve that science can't explain.
Mm.
And Enlil disagreed with his compassion or love for our race. For a while, they battled over that. And it was said that Inky actually told, Noah, Gilgamesh in their lore, to save themselves and get DNA of like every animal during the flood so he could continue his work with humanity, even though Enlil wanted to destroy it. It's how the story kind of goes. And yeah, there's a lot out there about that, but also Mayan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever you
That's
feel
cool.
pulled to.
Yeah. That makes sense about the two though coming together or whatever, because I've had a lot of Rachele picked up on this big time in our interview, but balance has always been a big thing in my life. And it's always been like pushed on me. I feel like whether it be messages from spirit or whatever, nothing's black and white, and nothing should be like fully this or fully that. Everything should be balanced and should be shades of, and everything is a shade of gray. You know, nothing in life is black and white. And if it is, you're doing it wrong. Sorry, but
Cortney and I have talked about that too. We agree. We see everything as gray.
yeah.
Because, I mean, even as far back as a cult, even like occult practices go, it's always about that like merging of the two. The perfect alchemical union in like mind, body, spirit, soul, everything.
For sure. Yeah. And that's kind of what I took from it, was just balance, I guess, maintaining balance in life. And it was wrapping its way around my body. You know, it wasn't, I don't know. That's, yeah.
Did you
I think that's
feel-
about your DNA. And we were just talking about, we think that you're an A. I think that's what that's about.
Yeah.
Definitely. I can't wait to hear what the results are. But
Yeah.
I had a dream last night of a bunch of snakes.
Oh.
And waking up this morning, right as I'm opening up my eyes and seeing spiders. And I used to get that many years ago, where I would see it and then they would fade. And
oh, sorry.
no, go ahead, honey.
I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just, oh yeah, Inky, I had that dream the night before last, though. And he told me about Eridu and to look into it, so I want to do that. But serpents, I feel, even when I'm doing spiritual work awake, do you guys ever get a serpentine type feeling in your body or like chakra? I kind of feel it, especially if I practice anything with like Kundalini and other things.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like something's like going like this up me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I do.
Yeah. Yes. So what else you got for us?
I've had lots of scrying. I mentioned that. Well, I'll stay with the animals for now. Sorry, I'm looking down again. Like, which one do I stay next? But I've also gotten lots of animals, you guys. Like tons of different birds have come to me while I've been scrying. Lots of hawks. There's something to do with hawks. I get visited by hawks a lot, and there's hawks. There's a hawk nesting near my house. But yeah, that's and it's weird because it's like I see them scrying and then they show up in real life. Like for a while, I would see a white owl while I was scrying, and then a white owl showed up. A barn owl showed up on my property and was nesting somewhere in the area, and I would hear her at night hooing all the time. For a while, there was a hawk nesting here for a while. I get crows every time I like think of an epiphany. Like if I have an epiphany, like a spiritual, like spirits, like hello. Every time that happens, I see crows. Almost every time that happens, I see crows. It's like affirming that yes, your realization is correct. Like please don't trail away from that. You know what I mean? Like that's what I get from it. And I also used to see especially when my path was first starting, I would see bluebirds, which you never really see bluebirds. They're kind of rare. And growing up with my grandma and grandpa, they lived on a farm out in the middle of nowhere, Indiana. And they had bluebird houses. They had an obsession with trying to have bluebirds on their property. And they would always have binoculars, bird books everywhere. And I feel like as soon as I started kind of my path, and especially when I started working with ancestors, those bluebirds started showing up on my property. And it was a couple. It was a male and a female. I know it's my grandma and grandpa, dude. And it's also too, whenever I'm thinking about something or whenever I feel like insecure or if I'm questioning my intuition, the bluebirds would show up. Like almost every time. So I really think it's my grandma and grandpa showing up being like, you're on the right path. Like we're on the other side now. So we know you're on the right path.
I do believe they're like messengers.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I got chills when you talked about the bluebird because my oldest son was obsessed, begging me to get him a bluebird. He wanted a baby bluebird and it had to be blue. And wow.
We feed the birds. We have feeders out here. So we have bluebirds, we have cardinals, we have sparrows. But we actually seen yesterday when we were out, it was right by me. And then it took off. My husband, he noticed it first, a hummingbird.
Oh, cool.
It was so little. It was like this little.
They're so cute.
That's the first time I've ever seen one up close like that. Oh my gosh.
They look like bumblebees, like giant bumblebees.
Yeah, they're so beautiful.
Yeah, they're really cool. But yeah, birds love to show up and let me know stuff. Birds is a big one. And I see them scrying, but like I said, I see them in real life a lot. But there was bats. Bats is also something else that I remember I did like a hibernation or coming out of hibernation ritual in the spring for animals that I work with, like animal spirits that I work with that go into hibernation during the winter. I don't bother them. I don't call on them during the winter. But when the spring comes, I'll do a ritual to kind of like help them wake up, right? But bats are one of the animals or one of the animal spirits that I work with that hibernate. And I remember this year when I did my coming out of hibernation ritual, that night, to me, this was an affirmation, but that night I saw tons of brown bats flying around my yard. And I hadn't seen it that whole year. And as soon as I got done with that ritual, I was like, I wonder if I'll see some bats tonight. And it was that night, first night that whole year that I had seen them. And they were like flying around my yard. It was really cool.
I just had this image of you just cross through my head. Did you guys ever see the movie Ace Ventura, Pet Detective? He goes, "Come to me," and they all just like, "Oh!" I could just see you doing that.
I love that.
Oh my god, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
It was cool. That was one of my coolest affirmations. I know it doesn't sound very cool. Maybe it was a coincidence. I don't know.
That's
but
awesome.
It was cool. So yeah.
That's like shaman work, working with the animals and stuff. Yeah.
I literally just heard like druid.
Oh, I could see that. Definitely.
I heard it like.
Really?
You know, earlier when we were also talking about like the third eye, when this was something I had read in I think The Psychic Witch, that book, when he was talking about when it's projected, like when you see a vision, where do you see it? Do you see it inside of your head, or do you like project it like right here? Can you like see it right here in your mind's eye?
It depends. Sometimes I see it in my head, but sometimes I go out and it's like I see myself like experiencing
like a bird's eye view.
You're a remote viewer.
Or it's like in front of me. Yeah, or a mirror, exactly. That's happened.
Yeah, I usually see it like this. I usually see it like right here.
Yes, and that's actually happened to me one time when I was hexing. I don't do that. It happened to me one time when I was scrying. I saw this black like shape of a figure, like a humanoid figure, but it was I saw it like I saw me sitting there, but I was like facing myself, if that makes sense. And I saw behind me this dark pitch black figure creeping up behind me. And right after that, I remember just having these feelings of dread. And I had it for a few days until I did like, I did a certain ritual and that got rid of it. And I also always ask for protection from now on before I do any kind of practicing. But yeah, that was wild. It was like
That's definitely clairvoyant. That is definitely clairvoyant. Because you didn't just feel the energy, you seen the energy. You seen this being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but
I think you're like a powerful remote viewer.
Maybe.
I've been
journeyers through like animals. Which isn't that what druids used to do, especially like birds? Wouldn't they see through like the eyes of the birds and stuff?
Yeah, in fact, they would practice ornithomancy, where they would grid out the skies in their mind's eye and then do divination through birds and flight patterns and where they went through on the grids.
Wow, that's so cool. That's cool. I had Claire, I hadn't even heard of this term until you did your interview with Rosa. She's really cool, by the way. But clairaudient too. I hear things too. And this has happened my whole life. Like I'll hear my name randomly, or I'll hear I can hear like parts of it's almost like radio frequency.
White noise.
Yeah.
Like trying to tune in, right? Yes.
Yeah. And it's almost like I can hear bits of a conversation. Like it will just like flash into my ear.
Tell you what's interesting. Lately, I've been experiencing like frequency from certain people's voice. Like they don't mean it's just they're that powerful, and you're one of them. Like I had to turn my mic down a bit because I get that with Rachele. I get that with like Carla. I got that with you too at the beginning of this, and it was powerful.
Oh, maybe I'm just too
loud. No,
you're not.
It's like
something
the
in
voice.
Your tone.
Right. The voice fades down and then the frequency like accelerates up. It's very weird. Something, I don't know what it is, but I've been hearing
like an amplifier.
Yeah. like your actual frequency.
Yeah.
You're very powerful.
Oh, wow. I'll have to look into that because my scrying experiences and things that I've heard too, I'm not making this shit up.
We know you're not making it up.
Yeah. But one really vivid clairaudient experience I had was one night I was doing a reading on myself, and I kept asking spirit, I was like, what do I need to do to further evolve? You know, what's my next step in my path? What do I need to do? And I was saying this, you know, while shuffling, I was trying to get my mind, you know, clear. And then all of a sudden I heard, you know what to do. Like clear as day. It was like right here. You know what to do. And I was like, oh, I think I'm gonna get the
okay, sorry.
Sorry. Did I interrupt you?
No, I'm not sure if I'm starting to lose internet on my phone now because your screen went black, but I still see Cortney. So Cortney, did my screen go black, guys?
No, you'd faded down a little bit with your voice, but none of the screen changed for me.
Okay. I could still hear you, but your screen went black. So it's probably me.
We can see and hear you.
You're messing with me. Get off. Either that or it's your energy. Because it seems like I have these problems during these kind of shows.
Yeah.
When we're talking about this kind of stuff. Yes.
It does seem like you do have internet problems when you're like doing the haunting.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't get it.
Like, no, don't talk about it. No one can know.
YouTubenati. I call him the YouTubenati.
YouTubenati. I'm coming for you, damn it.
But anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, the doing the reading. I heard you know what to do, and I was doing my animal oracle deck or my animal tarot deck, and I was like, oh, I bet I'm gonna get the upside down tiger. And I was shuffling, and I did. I got the upside down tiger. And so I was like, I guess I do know what to do, like that, because the upside down tiger is all about candle gazing. You guys know how I feel about that. Spending more time at night, doing more magical practicings at night, doing more scrying after candle gazing. So, and that's how I get a lot of my messages. So it makes sense, you know, and it was just crazy that I heard that and I was able to predict. I don't know. I thought that was cool. That
is like, very cool.
Loud and clear. You know exactly what to do.
You're a psychic. That's what it is. You just have to recognize that that's what it is. Acknowledge that that's what it is.
Yeah.
And I think we second guess ourselves too much.
I do all the time. Yeah.
Because they believed fire, you know, our ancestors believed fire and like water and other elements were links to the spirit realm for a reason, like a bridge, you know.
Yes.
And yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me that you would get them. Plus, you just have that aura too, though, that radiates like you've got that power.
Thank you. I don't know. I like to say that I like to think that everyone has sensitivity to it. It's all about harnessing it,
Right.
but and exercising it. You know, like I picture my spirituality or my third eye as a muscle. You know, you got to exercise it and practice. So
but you want to. There's a lot of people that don't want to. They don't want to have knowledge of that. So just like my mom, she used to have these prophetic dreams. She cut it off. So that's a power within itself. That just shows what kind of power we have.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I was going to ask you really quick. Are you on, what is that talking service we use?
Discord?
Yeah, Discord. Are you on Discord?
Yes, I am, but I never use it. I don't know really how to use it, but I can figure it out.
We need to get you in there, honey.
Okay.
We the sisterhood. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a sisterhood. like chat where you can. I mean, I find it really interesting that a lot of these things that you're talking about, we are experiencing also.
Yeah.
I think there's a reason, and the fact that your vibration, your voice is doing something clearly to Cortney. There's a reason for that. So
I felt like that pull as well. Certain people I will feel that pull to, or when they talk about something, you know, it'll resonate with me. Definitely.
Yeah.
There was something I wanted to ask and my mind just went blank. I'm sorry.
I felt very pulled to you guys too. Not to like be creepy, but no, I have this weird like interest in you guys. I'm like more, you know, so there's got to be some connection or reason, you know.
I believe that.
Yeah. Sure.
Carla says, it's so funny that you talk about Rachele and my voice frequency. I'm always told that I'm yelling when I'm upset, but I hardly ever yell, honestly, but I do know it becomes booming. Yes.
Right.
I have a very powerful voice. But see, like, you know, in our family, we would talk loud because we had to talk loud. There was a lot of family members. So if we didn't talk loud, you didn't get heard, period.
Yeah.
You know, but I do think it comes down to tone also.
Right. Well, and I used to be a teacher too, so sometimes my voice gets big because of that. Because, you know, when you're trying to teach 27 kids, you have to raise your volume sometimes.
It's interesting because for me, when I hear it, the voice shrinks down and like it's like an outer frequency or a different wave. It's hard to explain.
Does it vibrate something in you?
Yeah, it rings my head, like my ears, literally. It'll go wong, 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 and get like more intense. And I hear like the voices kind of shrink down and like that wonging sound. And it'll literally like I'll have to like adjust or be like, oh.
It's interesting that you say that too, because I just had a sound cleansing done. And she said that my voice chakra was off. And I just had a cleansing on my voice chakra. When I was getting my throat chakra, I'm sorry. As I was getting it cleansed, which she was using tuning forks, it was really cool. It was a really cool experience. I had my eyes closed, and when she finally like put it up against my throat, I saw this blue light, like this blue aura, like come up and like fill up my eyelids with this like cobalt blue light, and I just felt like it just opened.
I want some tuning forks. Those are so cool.
Me too. Yeah, it was really cool. But it's interesting that you say that after I just had that cleansing.
Yes. Has it happened to you before, or is it just now, Cortney?
It's kind of been happening since my Ascension symptoms. I really don't know what to call it. It's just this, like the last couple months, the synchronicities and like other things ringing, you know, visual stuff. But this, I learned that when I hear it though, because I've been testing it silently, in my mind's eye, I can use the frequency to sight and see the flow.
Wow, that's cool.
And it's funny because you have frequency strings with blue, silver, and white as you're talking, and a little bit of yellow.
I've been told I have yellow, a lot of yellow in my aura.
Yeah.
I can see yellow around you, but maybe it's also because of the color of your room.
Yeah, maybe.
So Maria says, as you keep talking, my upper body is heating up a lot in a very not me kind of way, especially my back. So are you talking about Abby, Maria? Or do you just mean in general? Can you pinpoint it? Okay. Yes.
You're talking about everybody's heating up a lot in the area. Oh wow. Yeah.
The chat is way behind, or at least on mine, it's way behind.
Yeah, I think it is lagging a bit.
She says, in general, just listening in.
I think by doing these and people sharing with each other, I truly think something big is happening with all of us, and that things are being activated within us at a soul level. And it's kind of like intertwining with our DNA, just activating dormant things in us.
Yes.
Now I'm just starting to identify as like a hybrid, and I truly believe that. I don't care who calls me crazy, like,
Right.
But it's just so much, and then so many experiences between people we meet and stuff, and like the connections, and then pieces we put together, or we'll even activate like each other and not even realize it until we go, oh, and get like spirit smacking us, and we were going, that's what that was.
It's like this. Really?
Yeah. It'll say, sometimes it just like lands on me, man, and it's like immediate. And then like I don't think I don't think the same way I did before ever again. Like it sometimes happens that quickly. Does that make sense? It's like, yeah, it's crazy. And sometimes I get tingles in my hands. I get tingles in my fingertips and my toes. Tingles in my feet and toes. Sometimes when I get like an affirmation or like I think something, I'm like, and if I second guess in it, I'll get tingles like into affirm it. That's how I take it anyway. I don't know if that happens to you guys.
Yeah. Heat, chills. Sometimes lately too, I just get the shakes and then it goes away.
Yeah.
It's so weird. It's almost like there's so many energies around everybody, and we just don't know how to control that, or I can't, speak for myself. But it's like feedback from everywhere. I feel everything.
Yes.
So much more, anything in the world, anything around people now, it's just heightened.
Yeah, same. It's a blessing and a curse because I have to wear crystals when I go out. That helps me. Black tourmaline or clear quartz. Lots of times I call those my little energy banks. They'll store my energy, and turn it into good energy, and then I can do withdrawals of good energy. But yeah.
Yeah, I want to get.
I got going on.
I want to get one of them necklaces because I really just kind of want a shield right now. I'm like, shield, I need to be cut off for a bit. Like,
yeah, it really does. It helps me a lot. I mean, you have to cleanse them. Every time I go out, I come home and I cleanse them and I recharge them. But yeah, I've also, I feel like one of the things that I've like really was able to just like suddenly learn how to do was detaching my emotions from my logic. So now it doesn't happen all the time. Sometimes I still get really upset, especially if I'm hormonal, but I'm usually able to look at emotions, or I can look at a situation and I can literally like, break my emotion away. Right. And I can look at it like almost like it's like out of me. And I just like look at it logically and reasonably. Right. And I think that's why I like the King of Cups so much, because he's all about balance of those two things. And never been able to do that. Not since Spirit told me to do it. I had never been able to do it. I was always a very reactive, emotional person. I was my emotion when I was upset or happy or whatever. I was that emotion. So now I can just be like, no, I'm Abby and this is my emotion. You know what I mean? But
it's like easier to step back, like detach a minute, right?
Yeah. I can almost have make myself, and I know I've said this a lot, but it's almost an out of body experience. I can like look down at my emotion, and it's hard to explain. I don't know if that makes sense.
I completely understand what you're saying. And I think that's what we need to do more of, because the energy that we are in is all about confrontation, reaction.
Yes. And I'm tired of being angry. It's exhausting. So.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. But I'm so thankful for that ability to be able to do. I call that an ability. So
I may talk to you after this a bit about that, because man, I could do that, but lately it's been so
hard.
unbalanced, so
Can I see
ungrounded.
your palms?
Mine?
Can you put it up? Yeah, could you put it up to the camera? Oh, okay. Let me see your other. Okay, Courtney, let me see yours.
They're similar. Oh, my hands are dirty.
Bring them in
Sorry,
closer, honey.
from makeup.
Maybe turn it a little bit. Okay. Oh my gosh, look at the big X's on yours. Let me see that. Okay. So I'm checking to see whether or not you guys have a good separation between your heart line and your head line, which you do. You both do, which is good for like more balance. Yeah.
Whoa, the lines changed again, actually.
They do change. That's
Yeah.
more Carla's thing, but I just wanted to see really quick talking about all this balance.
I want to learn more about that, the palmistry. I think it's so interesting.
So do I.
Yeah, I want to get more into that. Ooh, look at you.
Do you have anything like I'm also interested in like, do you have any like thing you were born with kind of different, like web toes or anything?
Just my ginger. That's about the weirdest it gets.
And your green eyes,
And my green
Beautiful,
eyes.
though.
Thank you.
which are both at 2%, right? They're both rare things.
Green-eyed redhead is like the most, I think it's the most rare.
Mm-hmm.
But I was, funny story, they knew I was redhead before they knew I was a boy or girl, because when I was crowning, they could see I was born with the head of orange hair. My mom said, "Is it a boy or a girl?" They're like, "We don't know, but it's a redhead."
Who's got the red hair? Your mom or your dad? Or neither?
My dad.
Your dad's. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My mom's was like yours, and my grandma and my sister, but my dad had dark hair.
Okay. Is that your natural hair color, Cortney? The dark?
No, it's mixed. It's like an auburn. My natural hair color, like a auburny. It's bright, especially in the sun, but wintertime a bit darker, more of an auburn.
Okay.
But I've dyed it so many times, and I need to do something with it. But you can kind of see the red like through.
Yeah.
The
In the light.
That's my color.
Okay. Sweet.
Mine is naturally dark brown, but with like auburn. Like when you go out in the sun, you can see the red. But yeah, mainly dark, but with the green eyes. My dad had the green eyes.
Yeah, my dad. And I swear, I think I know I do. I get my clairvoyant and clairaudient sensitivity from my dad, for sure. Because he has dreams from people who have passed. I have dreams of animals who have passed. But my dad has a lot of dreams from people who have passed on the other side. My sister does too.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely get that from him. And maybe it's the green eye thing. I don't know.
I don't know. So, was it a regular birth? I mean, were you a 9-month baby? Was there any complications?
I was born at the right 9-month time. But I was a really big baby. I was like 10 pounds. And they had to use the forceps on my mom to get me out.
Your poor mother.
I know, my poor mom. Explains a lot. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I guess the whole like bed rolled across the room because they were trying to get me out and I couldn't get out. They finally did. They didn't have to do a C-section or anything, but
wow.
Yeah.
And you look so little.
Yeah.
You look so dainty.
I'm kind of a petite person, but I was a big fat baby, dude. Like there are home videos of me like fat little baby redhead.
Oh, I thought you were just so adorable.
Oh man.
That is. I love it. Do you use the freckle thing too? I use it against people. Like, yeah, I get a new freckle for every soul I eat.
Oh, that's a good one. No, I should start using that for sure.
My daughter would say that. And she would always be calling my husband a ginger, you soulless ginger. whatever. And my daughter, she has the same color hair kind of as my husband right now. And she's got the freckles, right?
Yeah.
And she's the O negative. Whatever.
I'm plastered, shoulders, chest, face, or I hate it.
Freckles are cute. I get some. I have put some concealer on, but I usually get some under my eyes. But I get a lot of my shoulders. That's where I get a ton of mine.
I got picked on is why I hate them, but
I got picked on for my red hair. But
I think it's beautiful. I think red hair is just beautiful.
thank you so much.
I think you're very beautiful.
You guys are beautiful.
Her celeb look-alike, though. For those who have seen Salem, if you agree with me, I'm telling you, even like your power, it's like Anne Hale in real life here. I love it.
Exactly. She was the one at the end, man, who had all that power. Yeah.
I know. And I'm so mad they're not making another season.
I know. So you know, the whole town set is abandoned in Louisiana and still up. They remade Salem and left it. And I'm like, I was so mad. But Anne's character growth, I was like, whoa. I loved her. She was my favorite character.
It killed me that if well, I don't want to give anything away in case anyone, but how they ended it, I'm just like,
I know.
Give it away. It's been how long now that it's over?
Yeah.
Right? If somebody hasn't watched it, that's on them.
Well, when he was about to walk into hell, or he did walk into hell, and then they just left it at that. I was like, damn it, I want to see what's going to happen.
You know what? I was pissed off with her husband. He doesn't know how lucky he was to have her. She was trying to protect him all along. I love her character.
Yeah, I liked her too.
Get him out of here. He don't deserve you.
Go to hell. Oh wait, he did.
He did.
I love Mary. I resonated with her. I was like, yeah.
Oh, Mary. You kind of look like her. Oh my god. I just not realized that.
Her personality and the way she would react to certain, I was like, oh my god, that's like fictional me there. Like,
oh my gosh, that's funny. Yeah, that show was awesome. If you haven't watched that show, y'all go watch it.
All right, well, you guys, it has been almost an hour and 20 minutes. Abby, this was really good. I'm sure we didn't even touch on all of it, did we?
Yeah,
we're gonna have to do like follow-ups for everybody.
Yeah. I have a few more things that I touched on. Well, there's a few things, but that's okay. Yeah, it's been a while.
So also get in contact with us for the Discord.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to have you.
And do you game by any chance?
What's that?
Do you game?
No, I love to watch gaming though. Like I watch you guys stream. I make my husband play video games all the time. I used to play when I was a kid, but now I just watch other people playing. So.
Well, we're looking for other players to join us on Elder Scrolls Online. Ooh. So that we can make a guild.
I want a guild.
Kick some ass. Yes. So if you are on and you're watching this, contact us because we'll add you to our little group and we'll go and kick some zombies and, exactly.
Get magical powers and swing a sword. My favorite.
Exactly. I'm a badass sorceress. I elf at that. Yeah. Mixed with a little bit of giant blood.
I made mine really tall, and what's funny is when I first entered the world with you, when I was trying to figure it out that day, I was standing by certain characters, and they were like so short to me, and I loved it. I'm like, yes, I want that in real life.
I love watching Skyrim is one of my favorite games of all time to watch play. I like I said, I used to play as a younger person, but that's classic.
You would probably like it.
Yeah.
You would probably like it. I mean, I've never been a gamer like that, and now I'm just like totally addicted. As soon as we get off of here, I'm probably going to go play.
I kind of like it now. I don't know. It used to cause me anxiety. Like if a bad guy popped up, I'd be like, whoa, like freak out. But I don't know. Maybe I can do it.
That's where we got you. That's where we got you. Until you become badass, we got your back. Yeah.
Yes.
True.
Love it.
Exactly. It's liberating. Well,
That's
thank
my
you everyone for
style.
joining us.
Thank you
And
guys.
I can't even end this. I'm not even on it. So you're going to have to end it, Cortney.
Oh, I have the power.
I got the power.
All right, guys. Love y'all.
Bye.
Have a good one. Bye, guys.